Okay, so this video is here to explain what happens when you have the planet Mercury sitting in the 8th house in your birth chart. So what is the 8th house? The 8th house is a house that is originally ruled by Scorpio and Mars. The 8th house is associated with sex, death, the occult, tarot, astrology, mysticism, taboo things that you want to keep hidden from people, like mainly your family, because opposite of the 8th house is the 2nd house. The 2nd house represents your family that you came from, and the 8th house represents your in-laws. And the 8th house is just associated with secrecy. So, you know, think of the 8th house as the things that a conservative, traditional person who comes from a conservative, traditional, like, family, think of it like the things you would hide from them. Like maybe you having sex at a young age, or you doing drugs, or you being into things that might shake up the, you know, the image of your family. That's sort of like the things in the 8th house, the things that you sort of keep hidden from people, or mainly like your family. People keep astrology and tarot and their freaky sexual kinks sort of hidden from their family, or family-like people and environments, or from people that are very close to them. They might keep things like that hidden and stuff. The 8th house is associated with inheritance, because you can inherit things through death, because the 8th house is associated with death. The 8th house is associated with sudden events, sudden endings, sudden accidents, because sex and death are one of the two things that can just happen suddenly and spontaneously and stuff. And Mars is the natural original ruler of the 8th house. And Mars is a significator of debt. Debt means that you owe somebody something, you know, you gotta give them something, you're losing something. Mars is associated with weapons and surgeries and inflicting pain. So that's where you see some of the little negative implications of the 8th house come from. See, that's how you see and understand a little bit why the 8th house is associated with death and sudden events and accidents, because Mars is sort of associated with accidents and stuff. But anyway, that's the 8th house. So what is Mercury? Mercury represents, it's an indicator of youthfulness, siblings, but mainly younger siblings, written communication. It's a fast-moving planet, so it's just quick thinking and just quick communicating and just problem solving and stuff. Mercury is all about using your intelligence, your logical, calculative, practical intelligence to solve everyday problems, to solve, you know, problems like a crossword puzzle or Sudoku, or figuring out how to use a phone, figuring out how to change your tire. It's all about using your intelligence to solve everyday problems. And Jupiter is more so like using your intelligence to preach, using your intelligence to teach, using your intelligence to give wisdom, using your intelligence to share your belief systems, like a preacher or like some guru, some spiritual person, you know. It's like that Uncle Iroh type of intelligence and wisdom from Avatar: The Last Airbender. While Mercury, if you're familiar with the anime Naruto, is more so like that Shikamaru intelligence. Yeah, what else is Mercury? That's essentially what Mercury is. So what happens when you put these two together? When you put Mercury in the 8th house in your birth chart. So when Mercury goes here, Mercury wants to use his intelligence to learn about the occult. He wants to uncover and is curious about learning and discovering the secrets of the world. Here, Mercury is interested in wanting to learn about, you know, tarot, or astrology, or want to learn about sexual things, or want to just learn about stuff that people tell them to stay away from. That, hey, you shouldn't do this. Why should I not do this? I don't know. Mom just said don't do this. You're going to want to go learn why the hell mom doesn't want you to do this, even if it means getting your ass beat. You want to learn, why should I not do this? Why shouldn't we go here? You want to learn about the things that are kept hidden and secret in the world. You just want to learn about those type of things and stuff. So Mercury is just very curious, and he wants to just use that curiosity to uncover, you know, just mystical, hidden, secretive, occult things. Some of Mercury in the 8th house, they might be very good at uncovering secrets of just, they might be very skilled at learning and uncovering the secrets of other people, but in particularly the family that they came from, and maybe their in-laws, you know, their spouse's family, because the 8th house is associated with in-laws, and Mercury is looking at the 2nd house, because opposite of the 8th is the 2nd. So Mercury is looking at the 2nd house, which represents the family that you came from, and you could be someone who could be very skilled at using your intelligence at uncovering the secrets in regards to your family, or uncovering the secrets involved from your in-laws. Or maybe you just might be someone, or maybe you might just be someone who's very skilled and good at learning and uncovering secrets of other people in general. You probably don't even have to go search. People just talk to you, and they might just drop secrets and knowledge to you, personal to them. It's like, damn, wow, they told me this. I didn't even really pry for it. I just know everybody's dirty laundry. But yeah, Mercury in the 8th house can make you very skilled at it gives you great potential to pursue astrology if you would want to, because astrology, I mean, it's a lot of places you can look at someone's chart to see if they are very good or inclined towards astrology, but having a good Mercury doesn't hurt. Astrology requires like a pinch of intuition, but it also requires some great communication, some good interpretation, some good book smarts. Mercury in the 8th house might incline you to want to uncover and become a great tarot reader, because Mercury also represents skills with the hands, because it's a natural ruler of the 3rd house. The 3rd house represents written communication. Tarot is all about, you know, you shuffling and reading cards. And here, you might be inclined to use your intelligence, use your communication, use your written communication, using your skills of hands to uncover, you know, the mysteries and the meaning of tarot, and become very good at it. Become very good at learning it and communicating it. With Mercury in the 8th house, you might be inclined towards learning Reiki. That's something that's mystical and hidden. But on a more realistic, everyday, day-to-day matter of Mercury in the 8th house, you might just become like some type of detective with Mercury in the 8th house. You could become some type of detective or spy. You could probably be some cybersecurity person. You want to uncover and learn the secrets of other people. You might become some hacker, hack into Sony and Microsoft, like people be doing, hack into bank accounts. You might become some hacker. You might use your intelligence to break into unauthorized information to learn and uncover stuff. It's a lot of things you could potentially see when it comes to Mercury in the 8th house, but the main thing is using your intelligence to uncover secrets and maybe communicate them secrets with other people, because it's looking at the 2nd house of speech, of speech and the family that you came from. Mercury in the 8th house, you might keep your intelligence hidden from the family that you came from, because your Mercury sitting in the 8th house of in-laws, of your spouse's family, of sex and death. Your intelligence might be hidden from your family. You know, you might be portrayed as, you might potentially be viewed as someone in your family who is maybe not as smart as maybe everyone else. Or you just keep your intelligence, or you keep what you know potentially hidden from your family. You keep your knowledge hidden from your family, so they might not know how smart or be aware of how smart you are. Mercury in the 8th house, you know, the 8th house is associated with sex. You might be very inclined to want to use your intelligence to uncover and learn a lot of things sexually, potentially. That's just about all the little different variations and things I could think about when it comes to Mercury in the 8th house in general. I hope this gave you great insight and clarity about what to expect if you have Mercury in the 8th house in your birth chart. And thank you for watching.